When a woman is cheating on her husband, she'll slip up in these 9 ways. One little fact about living double lives: you won't always be able to keep up the act, no matter how great an actor you are. Sadly, people who are cheating on their partners usually don't know this. When people cheat on their partners, they usually slip up in a lot of ways. No matter how much they try to hide it, there are always those telltale signs that usually give them away. The reason why most times their spouses don't see these signs is because they trust them and choose to ignore those niggling signs. After all, what is marriage without trust? However, if your partner is cheating, you will know, regardless of how you try to ignore the signs. If you are presently having this uneasy feeling that your wife is cheating on you and you have no proof, this video is for you. We will examine how a woman slips up when cheating on her husband to help you recognize the signs faster. When a woman is cheating on her husband, she'll slip up in these 9 ways. 1. She is secretive. Really, this is like the first red flag that something is wrong in a marriage. Or any relationship, for that matter. Secrecy has no place in marriages, yet it usually finds its way into a marriage where one of the partners is cheating. It is not rocket science that cheating mostly requires secrecy. Secret calls, secret hangouts, and secret texts. One of the biggest slip-ups a cheating wife can make is being overly secretive because she will be trying to hide it from her husband. The increased security on her phones, her guardedness when receiving certain calls, and her sudden need for passwords on her social media apps are all signs that she is hiding something. The best way to hide anything is to act like there is nothing to hide. But most women who cheat are not ready to take that chance. So, they become increasingly secretive. That's not all. Do you know how people get jumpy when someone walks in unexpectedly, especially when they are doing something private? Your wife may become jumpy whenever she has to pick up a call around you or when you come into a room unexpectedly. She may also angle her phone away from you while she is going through her social media accounts. These are all signs of secrecy that point to one thing: she's probably cheating on you. 2. She acts defensive. A defensive reaction to an innocent question is like a giant neon sign flashing guilty. When you ask your wife simple questions and she reacts defensively, it is usually a sign that she is hiding something. So simple questions like, "Who was calling you this late?" or "Why are you home so late?" may elicit a defensive or angry response from her. And really, it's not even because she is trying to sound unnecessarily belligerent. It's just that even innocent questions may look like traps to a guilty person. Asking her about her plans for the weekend could also elicit defensive answers or questions in return. She may retort with questions like, "Why do you want to know?" Usually, when your wife replies this way, it is a way to avoid the actual question that you asked. Such levels of evasiveness and defensiveness are the ways cheating wives slip up. 3. She pays more attention to her appearance. Growing up, I used to think that married women were not supposed to be fashionable because those around me were not. Now, I know better. I have met couples who have been married for many years but still make efforts to look good for each other, and I totally love it for them. However, there are some levels to this, and when your wife begins to get more obsessed with her appearance, especially when she is going for a meeting with that client or a night out with the girls, you may need to be a little more concerned. This is especially true if she doesn't display the same level of attentiveness when she is going out with you. If she is more attentive to her appearance and spends a long time choosing a nice dress, fitting bags, suitable heels, and the right perfumes when she is just going to work or a meeting, you may need to start engaging your inner Sherlock Holmes. You don't need to be as observant as a scientist to realize that your wife is giving off the signs of a lady trying to impress her crush. Sadly, you know that crush isn't you because she doesn't display that level of energy around you. 4. A lot of unexplained expenses. Sometimes, this may not be true for women. Even though we are in the age of equality, men still tend to pay the tab at restaurants, hotels, and resorts. However, this is still a viable slip-up if your wife is involved with a younger male. As a kid, I was pretty interested when I heard the word gigolo. It sounded so much like Yoruba, my tribal language. So, I checked the dictionary and realized that it is loosely described as a young man who gets paid by older women for sexual services. In this case, your wife may not be involved with a gigolo. However, she may have had to pick up the tab occasionally. If you share accounts or have a certain quota you contribute for household bills and expenses, you may find out that what used to be enough to pay the bills is no longer enough because cheating is very expensive. 5. Her stories don't add up. I have learned that a tiny lie always leads to more lies until a complex network of lies covers that one lie. If a woman is cheating on her husband, she definitely would have had to tell different lies about her whereabouts, the details of her day, and her plans. It becomes hard to keep up with the many lies, and slipping up becomes easy. Her stories may begin to feature little inconsistencies. For example, she may have said she was having lunch with a client on a particular day. Later, she may end up saying she had lunch with her friends instead. When the inconsistencies occur more frequently and her stories don't seem to add up, it is a sign that something is off, and you need to find out what it is. 6. She mentions his name. You would expect that a cheating wife won't mention the name of the man she is cheating with around the house. Well, most people find that they can't stop themselves from talking about people they have intimate relationships with. It's just normal. And even when she tries not to mention the name, it slips out in the weirdest ways ever. So, I used to have a girlfriend that had this male bestie. Man, this guy was always around her, and I really didn't think anything was happening at first. At least, not until I visited her and noticed how she just always found ways to talk about him. We would be talking about something else, and she would interject, "That's how Felix even did this to me yesterday." Sometimes, she would mistakenly call me by his name in the most random moments. It made me wonder if something else was happening. Well, I later found out that they were in a situationship, and of course, I took a walk. Both literally and figuratively. If your wife is cheating with another man, this is one of the major ways she could slip up. They have spent so much time together that he occupies her so much that his name slips out of her mouth, especially when she isn't in total control of her thoughts. In some terrible cases, it has been known to occur during lovemaking. I can't imagine what hearing another man's name from your wife during lovemaking does to you, but I can imagine that you may feel like you have just been doused with a bucket of ice water. She may have an explanation for this, but doesn't everyone have excuses for their actions? I will advise that you shine your eyes, a Nigerian pidgin slang for staying alert. 7. Her social media gives her away. Social media has been very pivotal in helping people cheat. It makes it easier to communicate with potential sneaky links without being detected. There is no need for calls when you can text, right? However, it can also be another way cheating spouses slip up. Sometimes, on social media, people post seductive pictures, and when you go through the comment sections, you see comments from people who are apparently married complimenting them. This is actually more common with men, but it doesn't mean that women don't do it. It's just that I see comments from some men, and start wondering what kind of sexual starvation he must have gone through to inspire such lasciviousness. Anyway, women do this too. She may also have increased the frequency with which she posts on social media. Then, there are the posts she likes and the videos she watches on social media. You can always tell that something is wrong. 8. Changes in routine. When you spend so much time with someone, you can form a basic idea of their daily routine. I usually know the routines of my close friends. So, it's normal for a husband to know his wife's routine. One of the biggest slip-ups a cheating wife can make is changing her routine. And this is actually an inevitable part of cheating. You can't be cheating, and your routine won't change. If she usually comes home early, she will start leaving work late. She may also have to take unexpected trips, usually business trips. The thing about these changes in routine is that they make her spend more time away from home. As a husband, if your wife suddenly starts spending more time away from home without any form of prior discussion with you, it's a red flag that you shouldn't ignore. 9. She is emotionally distant. When I had my last girlfriend, one of the first indicators that something was wrong was how distant she seemed around me. She just seemed so aloof around me. Conversations seemed forced. But she would miraculously come alive whenever her bestie came around. She tried to sound upbeat and happy around me, but I could always feel the forced quality in her attitude. One of the slip-ups that happens when a woman is cheating is that she can't always act the same way around you. She can't always pretend to be your loyal and loving wife all the time. There will be cracks in the facade. She may be emotionally distant around you most of the time. Regardless of how you try to communicate your feelings and emotions to her, you may get the impression that you are not really getting through to her. She seems to be beside you, yet a world apart from you. This alone is not definitive proof that your wife is cheating on you. She could be emotionally distant because she is angry at you for something you did. So, don't just jump to conclusions and accuse an already angry wife of cheating on you. Explore other causes first. These are the common ways women slip up when they are cheating. However, you shouldn't conclude hastily if you only see one of these signs in your relationship. You may end up accusing an innocent woman of cheating. If your relationship shows multiple signs of trouble, it is a sign that you need to examine it closely. Something is terribly wrong, and it needs to be dealt with really fast. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comments and follow our channel for more updates.